What's going on, everybody? Survival Islanders back in with another video. Don't forget to join our Discord and Roblox group. Links for those will be in the description. So this video is about a tutorial on how to make a flashlight system for horror games, kind of like how the Mimic does, and other games. You know, the one where you'd be in first person and you would hit a button and a flashlight would, a GUI would kind of pop up in your face and everything would light up. Kind of like how I've also have in my game as well, Roblox The Deep Dark. So we're going to go ahead and do that tutorial. So first you're going to start out by going to Start a GUI and inserting a Screen GUI. I'm just going to call it. Then you're going to insert 2 local scripts. I'm going to call this one. This one right here is going to be able to change the mouse. You don't have like the mouse in your face, and it actually looks like the light. So, and then you're going to insert an image label. I'm just going to call it because it's what's going to be. It's going to matter, but okay. So there's our image label, and I'm just going to stretch it to fit my screen as best as there we go. There. And that's all you have to do, and then you can mess with it how I'm going to do it. So I want my background transparency on this to be about 0.3. I'm also going to stretch this, if I can, a little more. So I'm going to raise its position. Okay, so we're going to start off with cursor. This one is simple. Local player, our first variable, is going to equal game.players.localPlayer. That's what our player will equal. Local character, another variable, is going to be equal to player, the first variable, dot the player's character. Or this could also be equal to character added. So that means either the player's actual character within the game, or when somebody's added, they're going to get this. Cursor will change for everybody regardless. If character, then our next variable, the mouse will be equal to game.players.localPlayer get mouse function. The mouse in its icon will equal, and with the quotations, now this is this little thing, and then you put an ID, so we can go ahead and get an ID. Normally people like this do like dots, so you want to have none right here, this thing, so you can tell which one's actually transparent. We'll just, that'll work. Just highlight that number. And that is done. So we have cursor now. Okay, so next up is flashlight, and you're going to want to insert a sound. I'm just going to call it click. So first variable, This is what I'm calling it. This will be equal to script dot click. Next up, user input service. So just I'm going to call my variable for that will equal get service quotations user input service. So then we want to locate make a variable for the GUI that we're using. So game.players.localPlayer .player GUI. Wait for child. And you want to have it as your GUI. So I called mine flashlight. So next, the light UI, the what was that? Image label. Yeah, the image label. I'm gonna call it. That'll equal the GUI dot light UI. Okay, so our function. I'm gonna call my function light. So local player equal game dot players dot local player. Local player character player dot character. You know what? I'm not even gonna call it that. I'm just gonna call it character because why would I even think to call it player character? I called the other one character. So, but this one I'm gonna call something different. So, yeah, I'll just call it this. But so the light that we want is gonna be equal to character. The character's humanoid root part. Find first child. Call that light. If light, then flashlight sound. Our first variable. You want that to play. And then you want the light to be destroyed. This is turning it off. Then you want the light UI then you want the light UI to be the visibility visible equal to false. Else flashlight sound and then we want to create a new variable. I'm going to call it flash. That is going to be equal to a new instance. And then within the parentheses for that instance, we're going to have create a surface light, comma, find first child. So character find first child. Humanoid humanoid root part. So local flash is going to be equal to a new instance, creating a surface light, comma, character, we have up here, finding the first child, which is the humanoid root part. So, properties of the light, the flash, properties of our flash. Basically, the flash is the light. Again, I just didn't want to use the same variable to confuse things. So, flash is actually light. So, creating a new light. You can mess with this however you want, but I'd suggest using this. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time reading this. Yeah, you see what I mean? White light, basically, at that point, closest you're going to get. Kind of like yellow, white, whatever. I want my range to be 32. You can do whatever you want. For my games, I've really done like 32, because I make the areas like really dark, so up to you. You can change the range of the light inside the script. Having my brightness set to 3. Again, you can change these things. Shadows, true. Shadows meaning if a light shines on something, do you want to see a shadow of it? Like, if you're standing out inside and the sun's shining on you, do you want to see your shadow or do you not want to see your shadow? I obviously want to see my shadow. Otherwise, not really realistic, you think? So light UI dot visible will now equal true. Light has turned on, created light. Okay, below these two things, two ends, UIS dot input began, connect function input. I'm going to call the function as an input function. So if input dot KeyCode, I'm making this KeyCode, so you don't want it to be a click, you want it to be a KeyCode, so is equal to num dot KeyCode. You know what? For mine, I do F. You can do whatever the heck you want. It doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to anybody. But suggesting that you don't make it. Okay, when people are playing a game, obviously one hand's on one side of the keyboard, one's on the other. Most people who are playing in movement with WASD suggested that you don't have the key all the way on the other side. Like, don't make the key like L or K or something. Like, nobody's gonna reach over there with one hand. So. And we're going to make this also Xbox compatible, so or the key code can equal I'm making mine button X, so then the function light and everything is now set for that. So up next, get a sound. We do not have a sound ID. Let's get a sound ID. I'll choose you. Copy and paste from the sound ID. I like that it's actually still called click. And then, where are you? Sound. Where's the sound ID? There you go. Copy, paste. Okay. Now we'll see if it works. There we go. That is what did it. As you can see, there is a light created in front of me as well, and it goes away when I turn it off. Okay. You want to make that in first person, that's pretty simple. There is no self-explanatory function for this. Literally type that in. Just first person lock. I just inserted the first one. There, okay? We now have our flashlight. So a link for the finished product will be down in the description below. If you have any questions or are confused with something, please post down in the comments below. Give us a like and a sub, and we'll see you again in our next post of videos.